You guys know what time of month it is. It is DATAMINE season! And for once, I'm actually getting these out before, like, 11 a.m. Because I'm at work today, which is fucking great. So, we got 4 new sync pairs and some more general information that'll be separate videos coming out over the next few days, because there are some thoughts that I want to go over a little bit more in depth with those. So, we have 2 seasonals and 2 fairs. I think you're a fair. Yeah, fair and fair. Yeah. So we have 2 fairs and 2 seasonals. Seasonals also be coming out first, but then the fairs are lasting until roughly around anniversary. So into that pre-anniversary time frame. The seasonals are on like about 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go over kits, grids. You guys know how we do this kind of thing this time of month. So we have Summer Hilda and Graplocked Shiny. This will start the 2nd, going until the 17th. Now, so this unit can max out everyone's attack. It takes a little bit of time. Raise attack of all sync press +1 when you're hit by a move. Okay. Natural Remedy. Alright. Okay. Cataclysming Infliction applies move acceleration to the ally play field. First time the user's program uses a status move each battle. So that would be either Protect or Topsy-Turvy, which is fine. That's dope. You have Brick Break. You have Protect, which applies Damage Guard. Topsy-Turvy takes any stat raise the opponents have except crit rate and flips them to negative while resetting them. So not much stuff actually buffs themselves, but very niche. It'll get some use. Defense and special defense all outsync by 2 stat ranks applies gradual healing effect to the user. So you can get everyone's defenses up by +4. You have your support EX. You have gradual healing. You have damage guard, so you can actually take hits. So that's not bad. Granted, this base kit I don't see much. To be dead honest, I don't see much. Like, if anyone in this batch is skippable, I think it's her. Now, grid here. Unfortunately, Poma Tools isn't updated yet because the dude's busy, which is fine. I'm gonna do Sealed Fashion Way. Team Sharp Entry. That is very good. 3 out of 5. Staggering off Brick Break. That is good. 2 or higher. Flag Bearer. So you can raise everyone's attack quicker. 3 or higher. I think you're seeing the pattern here. Lowers defense of all opposing when you're hit by a move. 3 or higher. Team Fist Bump 3. 3 or higher. I thought that was NPR for a second. First Aid, 2 or higher. First Aid's fine. Impervious, 3 or higher. Safety Tether, 2 or higher. MP Restoration, which is good for Protect, 3 or higher. Charge Infliction is whatever to me. Propulsion, not really in my opinion. Special Defense, 3 or higher. You see the pattern here. She has good stuff in her grid, but you need dupes. So coins, she is a worthy coin to us if you really like Hilda. If you want to go for Hilda, who are you? Okay, yeah, I guess we'll go over Karina next then. So yeah, like her base kit, in my opinion, is not all that worth mentioning. If people can prove me wrong with that, I encourage it. By all means, give me a reason to chase for my 1 copy. But yeah, otherwise, just I don't know. It's interesting. Her grid has some good stuff in it, but base kit, I just don't think it's all there. Niche, very niche. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Marshadow and Karina. So I liked Karina as a kid, like a little 13, 14-year-old kid playing SY. I always thought that she was cute. Wait, when did XY come out? Was it 2016? Wait. Hold up. 2013. Oh, okay. So I was 13. Why did I think 2016? Holy shit. That scared me. I was like, I'm not that old, am I? No. Yeah, I was 13. So that makes sense. Okay. So enough rambling. Good. So you have good form. So Rayquaza has this. Rayquaza and Steven. This passive, to my knowledge, does not have a cap. So it is literally just your limit is the amount of buffs that you can get. That is pretty good with higher base power stuff. And your attack actually isn't bad, unlike Steven and Ray. Steven and Ray's is only alright. This is actually higher. Better prepared, powers of your sync moves when none of the target stats are raised. That's like 90%. And in Fortress 9, whenever you're using a move, you get a stat increase. Spectral Thief returns the target's base stats normal. It raises yours by the same amount. So it's a snatch that does damage. So immediately, Hoopa's gimmick and Liepard's gimmick is done. Like you just took that gimmick and said, okay, you have base 100 power, which isn't bad. Shadow Punch, not much to it. Dire Hit, you can max out your own crit rate. And Greater Height raises attack by 4, raises the user's speed and evasion by 3. So, because your attack is up by 4, when your Fortuous will eventually max out your attack, or you just have someone who tops off your attack, which is perfectly fine. Like, you could use EX with this for a bunch of different buffs, but to then just go apeshit. Like, that is an idea. Then Sync, this attack's power increases when none of the target stats are raised. I think that's by like 50%, if I remember correctly. So that's fine. So you Spectral Thief into that. Then Grid. Now I skimmed through this last night, so I'm just skimming through these again. She has another Fortress 9, so you get two stat raises through her higher, which is fun because I think her base kit is fine as is. Restores MP for one of the used Pokemon after using a sync move, 2 or higher. So that'd be another Spectral Thief. Now, I don't know why these kinds of things are here. So I'm just gonna go. Furious Brawn, the more the user's attack is, the more powers up the user's moves. So when you get +6 attack, your moves get a 30% buff. But then you have access to Ghost Zone as well with Giratina, along with some defense breaks. So that's very good. Shout Punch Super Duper Effective 3, 30% buff to Shout Punch. Hit and reload, 50% chance of restoring MP. Personally, I wouldn't use that. But if there's a use for it, there's a use for it. And another Fortuous 9. So you can get 3 or higher. So obviously this unit's potential is going to be highest when you're at 3 out of 5 because you get 3 stat raises to power up good form like so fucking much. But you purely don't need it, in my opinion. But then Slipper 2, raise evasion by 2 settings when move is successful. So you can get your evasion up to +5 right away. So that's even more buffs, and evasion is harder to come by. Spectral Thief Power, sprinkled in here. Fierce Entry, so you only want 1 attack. That's not a horrible idea. Better power, powers use signals with none of the target stats are raised. So that's like, so that's what's built in, but another 30%, so that'll go up to like 80-ish. Then Rising Tide, the more the user stats are raised, the more positive the user sync move. So just like good form, this doesn't have a cap. So you're adding a good form bonus to this with Ghost Zone, assuming you have it, and better prepared, assuming you get that. You have a quick tempo as well, not bad if you're a little move gauge heavy on your other mons, and just some thief power. So very, very good. Personally, I want to see what this unit does. Like, I want to see the damage that this unit does, because base kit wise, I think she looks solid. I think she looks good. But I need to see what she does. Like, I need to see how these buffs affect her, right? Like, I think the potential's there. Plus, I think the costume looks super cool. So, regardless, I'm gonna get her just for that. Plus, I liked I did like Karina. One of the few redeeming factors of XY, in my opinion. She finally took off the fucking helmet. That was one of my biggest regrets. I'm like, take off the helmet, take off the skates, just walk. Just walk around. Show you know martial arts. Okay, now who is next on here? Not Brock. We're gonna go over those a different video. Leaving those out for now. Brawly, you can leave. Exit the premise. Okay, N. This is the one everyone was waiting for. Everyone was excited for. N and Zora arc. Super fucking cool. I love this, right? Zora arc is a fan favorite of mine. I'm sure everyone loves N. Like, I don't think many people don't like N. So most people are gonna be pulling for this. This is super fucking cool to me. Healthy super hit. Apply super effective hit next to the user if the user's HP is full and enters the bout. So you get super effective up at the start. It's like a supreme entry. Super sync 9. Super effective next to the user after it uses its sync move. So you sync, you get another super effective next. Sync freebie, you get free move next. So this unit wants your syncs. So you play him almost like he's a Mega Evolution. Which is fine. Supernatural. Didn't know we had that. Moves, Night Days. Just because it's a 4-bar dark move, this is our first 4-bar dark move. Like, he's gonna be our best dark DPS. I think it's pretty much without question. I'm very sure that this is not debatable. He's gonna be our best dark DPS. Especially if we get into the good. Dire Plus, he can max out his crit rate. Vivid Illusion raises you special attack by 6 seconds and evasion by 2. So that's how they're implementing Illusion, which is fine, I guess. I would have hoped for more, but whatever. I also, one more thing. N is a strike. I said we needed a new Dark Strike because our last one was BP Karen. So, nice. He got it. Hoping for that. Snarl, which is whatever, and we'll get into the sync and you'll see why he has Snarl. Personally, you'll never be touching Snarl. Like, you're just not. There's nothing to set up with it. I say nothing in quotes, and I'll explain why. 90 is actually because your base actually is 95. That is 1 out of 5, so you can get guaranteed hit on night days. MGR, another MGR down here as well. 2 or higher, 1 or higher, it's fine. Special attack 20, 2 or higher. Obscuring power, powers up the user's moves when the target's actually is lowered. Now, this is the thing with him in the sync move. He has power when their axis is lowered, period. This isn't hide and sync. This doesn't scale off that. Axis is lowered by -1, you get the RA 30% buff. That's good because with Snarl and this, setting up a -6 would have been super hard. 9 days on a roll for the coin flip chance, which is fine. But yeah, I like how they did this. I was afraid that they would go the hide and sync route, but I do like how they did that. Satisfying Snarl 50% chance of doing an additional stat down 2 or higher. If you need it for something, that's fine. Super duper effective 9. Base 40 move, not gonna do much. Devastation. This is why he has Snarl. More target special attack is lower, the more powers of your sync move. You are not going to be using this under most circumstances. Now, it's a shame that this is an N because this would have paired beautifully with N and Reshiram. Blue Flare, Noble Roar, move good acceleration because he doesn't buff his own speed. Blue Flare Pepper Rally. Just so much good stuff could have come from Flagbear and this, but it's an N, so you can't run them together. Personally, fine. Perfectly fine with that, but fuck. Adrenaline, don't really need it, but it's nice, I guess. You don't really need it. You would rather just fill out DPS slots. It's 3 or higher anyway, so you're probably not going to get it. Catalyst, when you use sync move get acceleration. If you're 2 out of 5, nothing else to get. Why not? Q Cutter, when you dodge, there's a 30% chance to reduce countdown. 3 or higher. I think that's potential if you use him as a tank. Obscuring sync when the user sync move is powered up when enemy actually is lowered. So just like Brain Power 5, when your special attack is up, period. Same thing up here, actually -1, you get the full benefit of it. 3 or higher, that's probably what you're gonna go for if you want to sync nuke with him. But once again, like 90s is gonna do fine. Evolution pair. So, Bedazzle. This makes the speed comp of this very, very efficient. Lowers the active all out sync pairs by 1 when you enter a battle. So you don't need to step with Night Days and burn your super effective up. You can have that. You can keep your super effective up, and you can literally just obscure sync. But to then have someone lower special attack like Gestus, for example, you can do that. Furious Brain, not Furious Brawn. The more the user's special attack is raised, the more it powers up the user's sync moves. The user's moves, sorry. Why did I say sync moves? So, special attack plus 6, your special attack plus 6, your Night Days gets a 30% buff. So that's just free. That's a free 30%. Once again, 3 or higher. So he has 2 multipliers off of Night Days, which can go up to base 200 power. 4-bar, right? So you have Furious Brain, and you have the accuracy related one. I forgot the name of it already, but that's 60% Dark Zone 110 off of a base 200 move, or it goes up to 200. Whatever. If you want to say 170 for convenience sake, fine. But I think he's worth the candies. I really do. I think we have a new best, I think he's the new best Dark Striker. I think it's almost without question. And he could do this kind of nuke immediately, too. So, I'll sleep plus 6, actually -1 with Bedazzle. With the move buff. Then you have a Sync Accelerator for support EX. But then you just smack him with super effective up. It's that easy. Then you have Dark Zone too. It is just that easy. And it's actually super fucking good. I might get 3 out of 5. That is Hilda. We wanted Urshifu. So Dojo Gloria and Urshifu Rapid. This is a fun one. This is very, very funny. Okay, I'm going to explain this because I think not enough people are looking at this. Punishing Strike 9 lowers the target's defense by 1 stat rank when the user's move against it hits. If the move has a multi-strike effect tag, lowers the target's defense by 1 stat rank for each hit. I'll come back to this. Has a recharging strike for 50% chance of charging the user's move gauge by 1 when its stack move hits. If it's a multi-strike, each hit has that 50% chance to charge the move gauge. I'll get back to that. Critical sync, except in certain circumstances, critical shield. The user's sync move lands as a critical hit. Your sync move is locked into +4. That is busted. I'm gonna go over Surging Strikes. Attacks 3 times in a row, except in certain circumstances, successful with this attack become critical hits. So this pair doesn't need crit support. If you're using her as a water DPS, you don't need a crit support. That is insane. You just have someone who tops off attack, maybe some speed, and you're fine. So, Surging Strikes, right? You're understanding this. If you're thinking what I think you're thinking, you understand how this works. Every single hit of Surging Strikes has a 50% chance to charge the move gauge, and is a guaranteed defense break for 3 hits. So every Surging Strikes, every 1 action, you get -3 defense. So in 2 actions, you can get their entire defense to -6. If they buff it, hit them again. It does not matter. She's our fastest defense breaker to this day, to my knowledge. I can't think of a single instance of someone else breaking defense this quickly. And this is all 1 out of 5. I didn't get into the max moves. So Iron Hand Close Combat for additional coverage if you choose to go that route. But at that point, you would want to crit support. flow like water, reduces the user's sync counter by 1, raises the user's attack by 3. So you could do this twice. So sync countdown is always welcome. That's great. Gmax Rapid Flow, always a critical hit. Ignores passives that reduce the damage of this attack. So that's good for like Azelf, Cobalion, shit like that. If you just want to nuke them down, ignores passive that protects against critical hit. Vigilance ignores type damage guard. So normally damage guards just reduce the power of max moves. This just ignores it. This is fuck you, smacks him. Then Steel Spike and Max Knuckle for Steel and Fighting Nuke. So Fighting Nukes, I think, is very handy for this. Like, I think you could do very well with fighting off damage. Like, Close Combat would still lower defense. It would still 50% chance of charging the move gauge. So you just treat these as single instead of certain charges, which would be multiple. That's fine. Then Sync. The more the target's defense is lower, the greater the power of this attack. That is, funny. It is a big funny. We'll just say that. You just have like Tech Gyarados right next to this. Big funny. For the rain and shit is what I mean. Now the grid. Base kit 1 out of 5. You are busted. Like I think she's the best unit from this patch. I keep saying patch like it's Unite. Oh yeah, you get an additional MGR3, but that's only after. So Surging Strike's power +1, so power, you're not getting much. Quick Cure, fine. Relentless, the more the target's defense is lower, the more power the sync moves. Threat heart, so it's this effect, but again. Okay? Until injury, the more the target's defense is lower, the more power the user's moves. That's dope. So with that, you could do Close Combat and Iron Head way more effectively. Iron Head with Steel Zone with the insult to injury is going to be very strong. 3 or higher. Close Combat MGR. Close Combat Powers is nice. Adrenaline. Don't really need it, but that's fine. Stacking Strike. Raises the user's crit rate by 1 when its attack move hits. If it has multi-strike effect, raises the user's crit rate by 1 for each hit. So, let's say you are doing fighting or steel weak content. You can use Stacking Strike 9 to max out your crit rate and still lower their defense. So, even if you're not using it for water damage, Surging Strike still has benefit, and you can max out your own crit rate, but this is still 3 out of 5. So, grain of salt right there. You do need dupes for this to work. You can easily just toss on the critical support. You can toss on Hilbert, and it'll work perfectly fine. Like, any critical support will work, but she has the ability to max out her own crit rate, but then also 3 out of 5 for more modifiers, which is typically how these tech sync pairs go. You get your modifiers at 3. Endurance, don't really need it. Fine. Iron Head Aggravation, you know I like the Flint stuff. 2 or higher, that's fine. Max Double Down, we know how good this is. 3 or higher with 400 base power. Yeah. Hit him as hard as you fucking can. Now the Surging Strike power. Racing Rain. You don't have speed, so that's whatever. Tripping Strike lowers the target's speed. Then you have Hunter's Instinct. Powers up the user's moves. So that's dupe intensive if you want to get into really higher multipliers. But you don't need the speed stuff. You don't need it. Then obviously that. So this pair gets very strong, like move damage wise at 3 out of 5, but you don't need it. Like the base kit is so broken in of itself, you don't need it. Like, and even then, other people will be able to support her. Like, I think you'll be able to do fighting weak stuff just fine with her, just because she has Max Knuckle. You can have other supports benefiting her. You have Sync Countdown as is. Like, you could do fighting weak with her just fine. That is not the problem here. Yeah, like, Steel as well. We have some good Steel mons. Although, I guess these two are covered by Solgaleo, which is what I do. I use Solgaleo for fighting and Steel Week stuff. So I guess they kind of overlap with this. But, yeah, like, very, very good stuff here. Like, she is so good. I can't emphasize enough how broken Punch and Strike is with Surging Strikes. Like, this is so dumb. This is very, very dumb. I've rambled for about half an hour now. Yeah. So, I want one of each of these. I think, obviously. Marshadow I want because you are Karina. Just fucking Demon Man. But Tech Candy's I would put in Gloria first because Relentless is so fucking funny. Marshadow, I'm getting one. Hilda, probably gonna skip, but I can wait till next year. Unless if she wows me. And getting one, putting Strike Candies in you like almost immediately. In fact, I think I have one candy now. I would have to see how close I am to a second one, but that's whatever. So yeah. Shout out to Absol and Lost Mode down here for everything here. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.